Hi, you're watching Inside Casting on the VCN, and I'm casting director Matthew Lessall.
How did you get involved in the entertainment industry?
I got started in the entertainment industry through my acting training as an actor. So I went to the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art after university for a one-year acting program, and then I became a professional actor / waiter / manager of restaurants, and for about 10 years in London, and that's where I was thrown into the entertainment industry.
When did you move from London to Los Angeles?
I moved to LA in 2001 in August, right before September 11th. I moved because I thought I wanted to be an agent. So I'd applied to various different agencies and took meetings, but what ended up happening was a producer who I met through another casting director who I worked with when I was in London, an American casting director, Eve Branstein, brought me in on a couple of films that were shooting in Europe, and they needed UK casting. And so I was in LA, and I knew everybody that they needed at the time, so that kind of sucked me back into casting.
After starting out as an actor, what led you to branching out into casting?
When I left acting, I actually went into casting. So I worked with a friend of mine, Jane Collins, who had started an extras agency in London, and we were doing background casting for music videos and commercials. And that was kind of like a secondary job. It wasn't ever, I didn't know that I was leaving acting at that point. And then I got another job with a casting director as a casting assistant for Jeremy Zimmerman. And once I worked for Jeremy, and then I went back to Jane, it all kind of made sense that I really liked not being an actor anymore. And I liked the part about working with actors and being on the creative side of things, and still being in the field that I loved. But the pressure of having to get a job and feeling like you were being judged all the time, which I guess is what acting is all about. You know, you're always auditioning. I didn't enjoy that anymore, and I didn't enjoy that that journey. So I was like, maybe it's time to shift gears. And so casting kind of just happened, and it felt very natural at the time, and I enjoyed it. And so as I was progressing over those years of transitioning from acting into casting, which didn't happen in a smooth way, but it just started to happen, I kind of thought at that time, maybe I'd really actually like to represent actors or go into representation or be an assistant to an agent or something. And it just kind of never happened, and it was always in my head that it would happen. And when I moved to LA, I applied to several agent training programs and interviewed with agencies. And when I got asked to work on a film, that was the job that was available. And so I ended up back in casting.
How does your background in acting affect how you work with actors now?
I think there are different kinds of casting directors. A lot of casting directors were actors, and a lot of casting directors were not actors. And I've worked with both types of casting directors, and they do great jobs in either case. I do think that having an acting background, you have a inherent sympathy for the actor and the actor's process, so you know what they're going through, or what they're going through, or when they give a great audition, you know what it took to give that audition and how special that was, and so you have an appreciation for it. And I'm always I think more appreciative than even the producer or the director. If I see I just saw a great audition the other day, and I won't name the actor, but it was so, and he's coming out in a film, Unbroken, and he came in for the audition, and he was so prepared and so beautiful that when he left, I was like, I wanted to cry because it was such a beautiful audition, and and the producer is still doing this on the phone, and the director was very impressed, and everybody wanted that actor to be in their film. But I knew how much preparation, how much thoughtfulness, and how and taking care of the beats, and what the motivation for the character is, and all these thoughts that went through the actor to get such a great audition out, and with such hard work. I appreciated it. I am sure I appreciated it way more than everybody else in the room. I mean, I think in fact, I emailed the agent afterwards and I said, he's going to blow everybody away in a room if he does this for me. He's going to be, and he's doing this for every other casting director in town. He's clearly going to book work all the time.
What do you say to an actor who delivers a great audition but doesn't book the role?
It's such a political process, the casting process. All an actor can do is do their best work, and then everything else kind of just has to fall into place. And so, sometimes the audition does push the choice to hire that actor in their favor, and then sometimes there's just other forces outside of the audition which are not controllable, like the financier or a very strong producer or a very strong director having a very strong opinion about wanting another actor that was always in their vision and not the actor who auditioned. And so you end up making offers to actors who may not have auditioned, who may not even know about the piece. And that is an element of why an actor who auditions doesn't get the role. However, if someone does a really strong audition and blows you away in the room, they're very close to getting the role.
Can you tell the difference between a bad actor and a good actor having a bad day?
Yes. Yes, I can tell the difference between a bad act. The funny thing is that I went to a great drama school, and I also studied Meisner for several years after I left drama school in London, which is interesting, I guess. But I think part of the reason I became a casting director is because I was able to recognize, who was a good actor and who wasn't. And it is instinctual. I always say it's instinctual, but I do think that you can tell when someone's having a bad day and when someone's just not an actor. And oftentimes, I'll audition actors because agents or managers are trying to develop they have a developmental client and they want to see how they do in the room. And so sometimes I help out and say, sure, I'll audition them. And sometimes you just want to say, it's not in the cards for this person. And, you can always be wrong about these things. I am not wrong about these things. I do think that there is something that you can tell about a truly talented actor. There's something, and it doesn't. And the thing is that there aren't a lot of them, and it may feel like there are a lot of them, but you have to. My job is to cast a film, so I have to find actors to fill roles. That doesn't mean that everybody that's in those roles is a brilliant actor. I'm being when I talk about a brilliant actor, I'm being very specific, and there's a handful of those people, and they're not in every single movie that I cast, and it's not possible. And so I always look for that star quality and that brilliance, and that's why I feel when I'm casting, I'm one of the hardest parts about what I do in casting a film is I'm very hard on myself because I want that star. I want that star quality in the cast that I produce for the director or the producer. It doesn't always happen, so you do your best to get that. I've been lucky that I feel like I have, wonderful gems of actors in roles, but I think that there are very special, talented people out there who go above and beyond what kind of your working actor does. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way or a mean way or a bad way. I just think I look for that extra special quality in somebody.
What advice do you have for being comfortable in an audition room?
Auditioning is a completely different monster to actually being an actor, and that is and I say that, and now I'm saying that, and I'm thinking actually that is true and not true all at the same time. It depends on the role that you're auditioning for. Like the actor I was just talking about who booked the role in the film, who gave this great audition, he came in and knew the piece inside out, and he did the work, and he did it like a performance, like he was on screen, working for the director. And that was somebody who has a lot of confidence and has a lot of experience and just knows what they're doing, and was so relaxed and was able to be in the truth of the moment of that character, didn't let anything distract them in the room. And read with me. I'm not the best reader. I mean, probably better than other readers in a way, because I was an actor, but I don't act with the actor who's reading against me. It's their time, it's their moment. So he was able to control that moment and do exactly what he needed to do in a natural way. Some actors come in and are so nervous. It's their first, they have all this great training and they're so nervous about the audition and just need a job so badly. And there's desperation in their system. And that desperation is the quality that doesn't get them the job. They can be the most trained, most beautiful actor on stage or even in other films, and they can blow that audition because they haven't, their bank account's running low, or their kid is sick, or there's outside forces that make auditions not great for that actor. And so I am very aware of that because I hopefully have seen the body of work of most of the actors that have come in. And so I'm, in most cases, I'm bringing in actors that I believe could be this role. So it's really up to the actor to, remain calm and be in control and know their material and really kind of focus on what's happening in the room and try not to be desperate or focus on what's happening in their normal everyday lives, because I think that can distract them from getting to the truth of what the scene is about or what the character is about. In auditions, you really look, occasionally you get a full fleshed out audition, and it's and meaning that the actor is completely present and has made all these beautiful choices and knows what they're doing. Sometimes actors have 5-6 auditions in a day, 2 commercials, a pilot, whatever, and they come in for a film audition and they just have a nugget of what the character is. They're not bad at the audition, they just haven't been able to do the work they need to do, because even if they've had the script for a couple of days, there's a lot going on in their lives. So my job also is to identify those moments in those auditions and say to the director, I think we should examine so-and-so and bring them back in, or there were definitely great elements to that audition that I think you're overlooking. I think they're worth meeting in person, going out for coffee, watching their reel. Let's re-explore this actor who may have not had the best audition, but if I really believe in their work, I'll bring it up again.
Do you appreciate bold choices in your audition room?
It's not about making a bold choice. I think it's about the actor knowing the character, and not every actor that comes in jives with the role or has a connection to the role. And so, no matter what the choice is, they may never really, be in sync with what is written on paper. I think really the key to successful auditioning, or the key to getting the role, is to make it your own. And so I think that's what people mean by bold choices, is for the actor to make a bold choice, which makes them make it their own, but that's also unnatural. It's like they just have to come at it with a knowledge that this part is so right for them and they connect with it, and that's what makes the bold choices. Most actors who come into audition, 99% of them will do the same choices, and there's that 1% that does something different and is interesting and that is the person who gets the role.
What advice do you have for new actors trying to bring their careers to the next level?
I think if you're going to come in and audition and you haven't auditioned a lot, make sure the material that you're auditioning for is something that you can relate to, so that you're not blowing your audition. If you're an actor and you're feeling forced into an audition by your representation because they want you to be met by casting directors, please, go in knowing that you can do the material. Knowing that this is not the hardest, it's not the hardest touch for you to do. It's, if you're just starting out, go in and give yourself the best shot. Don't audition for pieces that seem like they're out of your comfort zone. It takes a lot more work than you're probably have time to do, have time to prepare for it. That's the reality. I mean, actors who are just starting out also have to have secondary jobs so that they can support themselves. I mean, most of them. So, you can train with a coach, for a couple of hours, but if the role is heavy and deep and intricate, I think that you're probably, unless you're super highly skilled actor, you probably need to start off with material that's going to benefit you and put you in the right light. And then you grow as an actor over time and handle harder and harder material over time.
When an actor you've invited to an audition passes on the role, do you find it offensive?
I do not take an actor passing on a role personally. I will if if I've created a list and I have a specific passion for an actor to come in, or a passion for if we've made a offer to an actor and they pass and I feel deeply that they're making a mistake and I need to sort of inform the agent or the manager or educate everybody on what the project is a little deeper, then I will do that. But if someone doesn't want to do it, you need to find the person who does want to do it, because it's better for the director and it's better for the film and it services the film better. You don't want people in a film that don't want to be there.
How can an actor exit a room gracefully?
Well, I think after the audition's finished, you just say, thank you very much. It was great meeting you. And you walk out, hopefully without tripping over anything. And or if you trip over something, that's fine. It will make you be remembered. But I think in general, it's just, an audition can be so emotional for the actor that they actually do need to, it's a good question, because the actor just needs to recompose themselves so that there's a moment where they're reconnecting with everybody in the room, so that part of the reason that needs to happen is because you're the actor saying to the director or the producer, I am a normal person. I am somebody that you want to work with. I'm connecting with you. I'm not leaving the room freaked out or, still in character, because I think that sometimes can freak out the director and producer, especially if they haven't worked with actors a lot. So you want to be professional the whole entire time. You want to be in character when you need to be, and you also want to show everybody that what you're like as a person. And I think if you just leave without sort of saying goodbye or being cold or weird, that's weird. So you don't want to do that.
What's your preferred method for an actor to follow up with you?
I don't think actors need to follow up. I think if actors get the callback or the role, that is the follow-up. If actors want feedback, the agents and managers can always call and ask for feedback. But in general, if you're wanted to be, if it's going further, fairly quickly, I would think.
Do you enjoy the business side of casting?
I do. I love going to work. I love the fact that it's my office. I love the fact that I have great people working with me. I have lots of different people working with me, because some people end up getting other jobs and they move on from being an assistant to an associate or to their, to being casting directors. I have other casting directors coming into my office, sharing office space. I love the fact that I work in a building at 5225 Wilshire that has, several casting directors in it. So there's like this nice camaraderie there. You can always find out information. There's always someone to go out to lunch with. It's a very casting director friendly space. So that part of I love my day. I love getting into it. I do not like casting when I'm not working. That is the problem. Like, if you're not working on something, then I go a little mentally insane and have to probably check myself into an asylum somewhere. But because I like working, I feel like if I'm not working, something's wrong.
Do you get a lot of unsolicited visits at your office?
The thing is I now have a lock on my door that is coded, and I actually lock my door when I don't have auditions happening. So that does prevent the mailman from coming and unwanted visitors. It is kind of awkward and uncomfortable for unsolicited visits, because during the day I'm working. It's like you don't go into your friend who's a banker's office and just go, "Hey, I'm here." It's just like there's stuff happening and you're interrupting a day. And so it's not appropriate for people to just drop in and drop by. And it happens all the time. So I have now just, as a policy, I lock my door. And I actually don't have a sign on the front of my door anymore that says my name, because I can't. It happens so much, and it's so interruptive of the day that I had to control it a little bit. And friends who are actors can, people I know or have worked with who do want to drop by, they of course are always welcome to drop by, because I have a relationship with them. They just knock on the door, and people just knock on the door still, even if the door is locked, and I'll answer it, and or I won't, or they'll call and say I'm at the door, and I'll open the door, But unsolicited visitation is not encouraged.
What is proper etiquette when an actor sees you outside of the professional work environment?
The funny thing is it just happened to me at Costco. I just ran into an actor, but I ran into this actor who was working at Costco and selling whiskey, and and he's auditioned for me several times, and I cast him in a short film. And so when I know the actor and I see somebody outside of the office environment, I'm usually I will always say hi, and then I usually think I know them, like I'm best friends with them. Like, I have this weird thing where I'll like bump into an actor and I'll be like, "Hey, how are you?" And then I'll realize I really only know them from them auditioning for me twice 3 years ago. And so it's just so that has happened to me. So that's weird and awkward. But I do love actors coming up to me. I don't know that people like recognize me on the street, but if an actor meets me at a party and wants to talk about acting, I'm fine with that, because that's what I do.
What's the best way for an actor to reach out to you?
I get a lot of postcards, which some casting directors say don't send a postcard, some say do. I think actors need to do whatever they feel that they need to do to empower themselves is what they need to do. And I don't have an opinion about how whether postcards work or emails or whatever. I am very accessible, and I think that if you're inappropriately contacting me, like if you give me a weird tweet or if there's a weird Facebook message and you think that you're being normal, that's also very weird. And so I don't want to be contacted in that way. Like I get strange emails, or I get strange tweets and strange Facebook things on my Facebook page, and I will block you because I have the technology. But, I think the thing is that it's, to look at it a different way, I'm always looking for actors. Like, I'm always looking to find talented people so that I can bring them into auditions. I just went to a play yesterday. I go to the theater. I see a lot of film. I watch a lot of television. I mean, I do everything that one can do to find talent. So I do generals with actors. I'm doing what I can do to find talent. I think reaching out to me when it's appropriate with a postcard or a quick email. Email is not so great, actually. I mean, because email is how I conduct my business. So if I have 50 emails from actors, I'm just deleting the email. If I don't recognize your name, it's probably getting deleted and not answered. And that's just the truth, because I have to continue with my day. But a postcard saying that you're on CSI is great because I watch it. Or a postcard saying that you're on Mom is great because I watch it, So, it gives me the heads up.
Can you talk a little about your 2015 Artios Award nominations for Mortal Kombat Legacy and Aim High?
I'm on the board of the CSA. I'm one of the vice presidents, and this year we added a category of web series. Well, really new media. I think I happen to have cast 2 web series that qualified in the time period. And they got nominated, which is great. One's called Aim High Season 2 starring Jackson Rathbone, and the other one is Mortal Kombat Season 2. I did Mortal Kombat Season 1, and both were a lot of fun. They were very big web series. They had proper budgets, and Aim High 2 looks like a television show. It was produced by Wonderland Sound and Vision and Warner Digital, and Mortal Kombat was produced by Warner Digital and aired on Machinima and had a record number of hits on YouTube, like over 10 million. So both series were great fun to work on and very challenging in various different ways, but I'm very proud of the fact that they're nominated. I think it's great that we have a category of new media this year. It just shows what's happening out there. I'm sure the category will expand and be redefined as time goes on, and it's a great honor.
As a casting director, how does it feel to be nominated for awards by your peers?
I don't think of it like I'm nominated. That's the thing. It's like I work on a project. Like I work on the film. I feel like the film or the web series is being recognized. So that's why I kind of take it out of me being nominated. I feel like it's such a group effort just to get it to its completion that there's a lot of people involved. So, I'm happy to take the credit for casting, but it's not the only thing that makes the piece successful. There are a lot of other people that make it watchable in the first place and make it special. And so that's why that's probably why I'm, just shy about it a little bit, but it is a great honor.
Do you prepare a speech in case your name is called?
I will have something prepared, but short, in a timely fashion, because I'm the chairman of the Artios. So I'm the person that usually gets the complaints after the Artios that someone's speech was too long. So if I do win, I will have a short speech.
How do you feel about actors making their own web series?
I think we are now in a day and age where every actor should feel empowered to write their own material and find great partners to write with, and everybody has an opportunity to show what they're about, and it doesn't take a lot of technology or skill behind the camera to do that in a way that doesn't look professional. You can make it look professional, and you can make it look interesting and different, and you can have a point of view as an actor, writer, director that that makes you stand out of the crowd. And I think actors are more successful actors are the ones that are writing their own material and working with other actors to create content. And even if that content doesn't get seen by anybody, it can be seen by casting directors, because it's proof of the kind of work that you're capable of. And I bring in actors all the time who have like done little sketches or that may not have been seen by anybody, but their manager says, look, this is what they did on their own, and this is why they're right for the role. And I have something other than just their, under 5 co-star on some show that I never watch. So not that under 5 co-stars are bad, or a negative thing. It's just casting an actor is about seeing their range and seeing their potential. And so, I'm always jealous of New York casting directors, because they can go to so much theater and see such a range of actors and watch that development from like drama school onwards into theater and see all the different colors that they can do. Here in LA, we're kind of limited by not having that deep trough of theater and strong theater to go to, and having that base. So we rely heavily on, I call web series like my off-Broadway. Like I watch a lot of web series. I watch a lot of content there, because it does give me the opportunity to see what actors are capable of. So because the under 5s don't give you that opportunity, they don't give you that depth, you can't really show that much. You can on a guest star, and that happens all the time. So, you can be really sick on Grey's Anatomy and have a career, future career as a movie star. It's happened several times on that show.
What is one of your biggest pet peeves?
One of the interesting developments that has happened over the past several years, and I think it's because of the immediacy of the internet, is a breakdown will go out, and literally 5 minutes later, someone will call and say, did the role of Johnny get cast yet? And I get several calls like that, and it doesn't allow me to actually work. So the reason I use breakdowns at all is to disseminate the information that there's a role out there, that there's this type of role out there, and that's what I'm looking for. And because I understand that television works faster than film, so I can see why people call so instantly. But most of the time on my films, I have a little bit of time to kind of think about it, especially if on the breakdown it says we're not shooting until April, or we're not, if it's a couple months away, it means that, yes, I'm going to set up auditions, and yes, I'm going to probably make offers, and yes, like all the things that casting directors do. But to get several phone calls right away saying, is this role cast, I don't like to be rude on the phone, so I find that takes up a lot of time, and it can be annoying. That is my latest pet peeve from the agency side of things. I love agents. I love you guys. Hey, thank you for watching. I hope what I said today was insightful. Feel free to tweet me, but I may block you.